Hi everyone, my name is Ana Hubble. I'm the product manager for the lovely islands of the South Pacific. Thank you so much for tuning in for this current episode. We're going to be exploring the beautiful islands of Fiji. Let me start with what we handle for you in Fiji. Anything from private air and inter-island logistics, which are really important in Fiji, curated experiences, restaurant and spa reservations, pre-arrival coordination, and 24/7 support for you always. So let's start by exploring Fiji. Similarly to Hawaii, Fiji is really it's not just one destination. It's a collection of different islands that provide different experiences. And the experience can vary widely between one island and another. And choosing the right one is extremely important. And it's really what makes or breaks the trip. So let me go ahead and start with kind of giving you an introduction of where everything is located. Hopefully that will set the stage for the rest of the presentation. So the main island is Viti Levu, and that is the gateway island. That's where the Nandi airport is located. And it's also home to the beautiful Nanuko, Fiji on the south Pacific Harbor area of Viti Levu. And then to the west of Nandi, we have the Mamanuca Islands. The Mamanuca Islands is what you think about when you think of Fiji, when you think of the beautiful blue waters and the overwater bungalows from Liku Liku, for example. Um, and then you also have Vomo Island, which is right in between the Yasawa Islands, which are just as stunning but very remote, and the Mamanuca Islands. Tokariki is also located here. Six Senses Fiji, Vomo, and Liku Liku, of course. Then to the south of Pacific Harbor, you have the Beka Lagoon, and that is home to the very romantic and intimate Royal Davui. And if we look to the northwest, that's Vanua Levu. This is the second largest island in Fiji and is home to Jean-Michel Cousteau, which is perfect for families, and Namale, which is also perfect for couples. Right in between those islands, you have the Lomaviti Islands, ultra exclusive and secluded, and home to Wakaya Private Island Resort. And then to the south of the Beka Lagoon, you have the Kadavu Islands, reef-driven, home to the Astrolabe Reef, which is the fourth largest barrier reef in the world, very remote and home to the beautiful Kokomo. So I hope that sets the stage a little bit and help us get comfortable with where everything is located. So let's start with how do we get to Fiji? You have direct flights from Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Dallas, which is where I'm located. Fiji Airways is amazing. It's now one of the top 10 airlines in the world. Their service is great. And you can also get there through partner airlines like American, Qantas, and Air New Zealand. This is an overnight flight, so about 10 to 11 hours from the West Coast and about 13 hours, a little bit less than 13 hours from Dallas. But it does help a lot that it's an overnight flight because you get to Fiji well rested and just full of energy and ready for adventure. Now, Nandi International Airport is your main entry point, and your gateway into Fiji. I do want to mention this airport is extremely easy to navigate. It's air conditioned, so different from other island destinations where the clients might be uncomfortable. It's very easy. They're very quick. You get to your bag really quick, and then it's really easy to locate your VIP meet and greet or your transfer from there. So very, very easy to navigate, very easy for your clients. And of course, we can help with VIP meet and greet and fast track services. So getting to the islands, to get to the Mamanuca Islands, you have to get to Port Denaro, which is about 15-20 minutes from Nandi Airport. And it takes about 25 to 60 minutes through a boat, depending on what hotel you're going to. Vomo being a little further, and places like Six Senses being a little closer, or a 10 to 15-minute helicopter ride. For the Beka Lagoon is a 25-minute flight from Nandi Airport, followed by a 35 to 40-minute boat ride. Um, I do want to mention that the aircraft that is used for Royal Davui is very small, but it is a beautiful, beautiful scenic flight. So you see mountains, you see rivers, you see the beautiful ocean on the way there. But I will warn your clients that it is a small aircraft, so they're not shocked when they see it. And the boat ride is very lovely as well. It sounds like a lot, 30 to 40 minutes, but it's a very beautiful ride. The water is just stunning. And it's part of the experience. It's very scenic. To get to Vanua Levu, which is the second largest island where Namale and Jean-Michel Cousteau are located, is about a 50-minute domestic commercial flight. And even though that sounds like a lot, I do want to mention that both Namale and Jean-Michel Cousteau include the transfers with their rates. So as soon as you land in that airport, it's a tiny airport. There's only a restroom there and a place where you get your bags. That is all you find. It's open air. But as soon as you land there, you already have a representative from either one of the properties waiting for your clients to transport them. Literally grab your bag, they give you a lei, they give you a water, and you're on your way to the resort. So that makes it a lot easier. To get to Kokomo is a 45 to 60-minute private aircraft. It's a seaplane. Well, it's one of those hybrid planes. So it takes off from an airstrip and it lands in the water once it arrives to Kokomo. And then to get to the Wakaya private island, you can do a helicopter, you can do private air, 40 to 45 minutes. The UJV advantage is that we have end-to-end coordination, and we take care of all of those little details that you need to know. Like, for example, if you're going to Vanua Levu, if you purchase your flight ticket from the main island, you get the same luggage benefits and weight limits as an international flight. But if you purchase them separately, the inter-island flights, then that gets decreased on the both the weight and the amount of luggage that you can take. So that's where we come in. That's where our value is. We can help you with all of that. So let's go through the islands and let's start with the beautiful, iconic Mamanuca Islands. This is home to Liku Liku and Tokoriki, which are your two adult-only resorts, and Six Senses and Vomo Island, Fiji, which are, I guess they can apply to both, but they are more family front. Why sell it? The Mamanuca Islands is your easiest access from Nandi. And these properties are high conversion for first-time Fiji clients. So this is what your clients are imagining when they're thinking Fiji, when they're drinking that Fiji water. And it's a nice, strong mix of adults only and family properties. Um, Liku Liku, for example, is famous for their overwater bungalows, their overwater experience. It's a beautiful resort. It's designed with Fijian architecture, so it has a strong sense of place. It's ideal for those clients that are looking for something unique, something really special. They do have limited inventory, so you have to book well in advance, especially for those overwater bungalows. I recently visited Liku Liku and I was blessed to experience their sunrise hike to their honeymoon island, for example. 100% recommended for your honeymooners or for those special occasions. You leave the resort still in the dark. Take about a 10-minute boat ride to Honeymoon Island. You hike in the dark, of course, with a guide that has you have your flashlights and you're going through and you get to the top of the island. They serve you champagne before the sun even rises, which is amazing. And then you have a full 360-degree views of all the islands around you. You can see the island where they film what's that show? I'm sorry. Famous show in Fiji.
Survivor?
Yes, Survivor. Thank you. Yes. You can see the island. I actually saw one of the Survivor boats that was on the way to the island while I was there. And it's absolutely amazing. And then you start seeing the sky changing colors in such a beautiful way as well. Beautiful experience. And you come down and you have a small breakfast picnic with baked goods and fruits, local fruits. Recommended absolutely for honeymooners. Then you have Tokoriki as well. It's also adults only. A strong romance place here too. Great for honeymooners. Their villas have pools. They do have more modern aesthetics. Then you have Six Senses Fiji. And as you know, as any Six Senses has a strong global brand recognition in the wellness luxury space. They have an amazing holistic spa. I had an amazing spa treatment massage there, and I found out that they actually have won several awards throughout Fiji. So in that sense, they do appeal to adults. They also have simple but great property experiences like body scrub making, ginger tea making, which I really, really enjoyed because their staff is so warm and they really connect with you. And then even for kids, for example, back into the wellness atmosphere, but making it fun. Kids can grab a basket and they go pick up eggs from the farm, and they can then take that to the breakfast restaurant and actually have those fresh eggs for breakfast. So it's an amazing property as well. I definitely recommend their beachfront barbecue night. Is local seafood and is paired with a fire show, which was amazing as well. And then we have Bomo Island, which is also great for families because they have big, spacious villas and residences. They have a really good programming for kids, which is where Fiji really shines. They're great with the nannies and the kids' clubs. They have a large footprint as well. So there's some hiking available within the property itself, and it never feels crowded. They have an adults only pool as well if you want that separation. Um, and again, it applies to both families and couples, but it is more geared towards families, I would say. Oh, before we go there, I do want to mention who are the Mamanuca Islands not for, which I think is very important as well. For clients maybe looking for extreme privacy or that off the grid feel, for that, I will absolutely recommend Royal Dabui. This resort I completely fell in love with. This is one of Fiji's most romantic and secluded resorts. It's only 16 beautiful villas, and they have this indoor-outdoor experience. You can open all of the doors. Um, you still feel immersed and secluded. You can't see any other villas around you. They do, however, have some social fun activities like a hermit crab race that gets super competitive, and you get a prize, like a drink tickets as a prize for the winner at the end. So if you want to be a little bit social, they do offer some options for you, but really what they do well is that sense of seclusion, that sense of romance, perfect for that honeymooner that are just looking to just get away from everything and everyone. They also have a sandbar experience that is pretty famous. For honeymooners, they just drop you off in the middle of the ocean, and then, for a certain amount of time, and they come back and pick you up. Um, and I've heard it's famous for um, people starting to shave their clothes off even before the boat completely leaves the island, which I think is hilarious. But again, that tells you really appeals to the honeymooners that are looking for just that seclusion. The coral reef around the property is outstanding. It's beautiful, it's colorful, and it's really crazy how you can see the colors from the deck as you arrive from the jetty. Once you're under the water, is even more wonderful. Shades of yellow, of purple, like nothing I have ever seen before. Just absolutely amazing. This is not a flashy resort. It's not a super contemporary property either. It's just barefoot luxury. It's relaxed. It almost feels like being at your rich friend's private island, if I could describe it. But it's definitely a life-changing place. Moving on to the main island, Nanuku Resort, Fiji. Why sell it? Because it's easy and it's beautiful and it's on the main island. Nanuku is one of Fiji's best luxury options for families and multi-generational groups, but it still appeals to couples as well, seeking for a little bit of privacy. The beachfront villas are just absolutely lovely. They have an impressive kids club as well and nanny program, so everyone can enjoy and have fun. Because it's on the main island, they also have a different cultural experiences from some of these other smaller islands. Things like waterfall tours, river adventures, just more options for your clients. It also has a beautiful beach, but it is a little bit darker. It's a little bit different, not as white sand as what you would expect on the Mamanuca Islands, for example. But it's still beautiful. And if your client is looking for that experience, they do have a private island that you can take a tour for the day and experience that beautiful blue water and the white sand, although it's not complimentary. And moving on to authentic Fiji, Vanua Levu. This is the second largest island in Fiji again. It appears, in my opinion, to repeat Fiji travelers. or as long as you set the right expectations, because this is a more volcanic island. It's a more cultural island. It is considered the soft coral reef capital of the world. So diving and snorkeling are going to be absolutely amazing and stunning and different from everywhere else because of the coral reef. It offers more immersion, it's less commercialized, it's more untouched. That idea of jungle meets ocean, they do it perfectly. Incredible nature, incredible marine life, still wellness, and more cultural experiences as well. So this island is home to the beautiful Jean-Michel Cousteau and the adult-only Namale Resort and Spa. Um, Jean-Michel Cousteau, I wanted to tell you about my experience because I had been there twice. First time on a fem trip with some of my colleagues, um, but the second time with my family. And I have to tell you, being there with my 9-year-old back then, was a completely different experiences. And I can understand the resort at a completely different level. Their kids club and their nanny programs are unmatched and some of the best ones and most respected in all of the South Pacific. Um, so my son actually cried when we left the resort. He was just so connected with his buddy and the friends that he had made there. They have age-specific activities. They keep them busy the whole day, and they actually teach them things. They go looking for fruit. They teach them cultural activities. My son actually participated in the torch lighting ceremony, which was great for him as well. And they really keep them busy in a fun way to where they want nothing to do with you. So it gives the parents the advantage to, enjoy some alone time, or you can also join in and do things with them while they're having a blast, without a doubt. Because they're on the main island, they also have a more strong cultural immersion. They have village visits. Again, soft coral capital of the world, so their snorkeling is amazing. Just like Nanuku, the beach is not that white sand that you will expect, but they also do have a private island that you can actually kayak from, or you can book a tour and book it for half a day or for a day as well. The same goes for Namale. Namale is known for its beautiful, dramatic cliff tops. It's an absolutely amazing, beautiful resort. The views are unmatched. I don't even know how to describe them. You see the volcanic and the coral reef through all of their top cliffs, and you see the sunset and the waves. It's just such a romantic place. This resort is for those couples that are looking for something other than just the typical beach resort. It has lush rainforest, a romantic atmosphere, kind of like a mystical atmosphere as well, a very strong sense of place, so you will feel like you're in Fiji. And because they're on a big island as well, they have other activities like waterfall hikes. They have this heart-shaped tub with views of a blowhole that are absolutely stunning as well. So romantic for couples. And they do have a lot of jungle trails. And it's a true all-inclusive, which is the most important thing about Namale. A lot of these hotels in Fiji that have meals included will not include your alcohol, for example. Namale does. Okay, moving on to the Lomaviti Islands and why sell it. So this is home to the Wakaya Private Island Resort. And this is one of Fiji's most exclusive private islands resorts. It really feels like you have the entire island to yourself. Only 12 keys here. If that tells you anything. Is elegant Fijian design, is understated luxury, is beautiful white sand beaches, excellent snorkeling and diving, but very quiet. And I would say, even though it can be done for both families and adults, it does appeal a little bit more to adults than it does to kids. And then Kokomo Private Island, Fiji. I was so lucky to visit this resort on my last trip as well. I have to say, it's one of the best ultra luxury options for families in all of the South Pacific, in my opinion. Again, that Fijian hospitality really plays a big difference here. Um, the staff is just warm, they connect with you, the way that they sing as soon as you arrive. Their nannies and their kids' clubs are great. I mean, I saw nannies taking kids on the kayaks. and just really connecting with them. I love their villa product because they have these large size pools and they have direct access to the beach. Sometimes not all of their residents do, which is great to know. So their villa product is amazing, in my opinion. Plenty of activities, some complimentary, some paid. Three different restaurant options here. And direct access to the famous Astrolabe Reef, which, as I mentioned before, is the fourth largest barrier reef in the world. They have an on-site organic farm. They have a beautiful spa, excellent diving and snorkeling, of course. But where their shine is on their kids programming, 100%. Is this ultra lux place, but still yet relaxed. Barefoot luxury setting that just feels really comfortable, and it's really a place where you can spend your whole vacation. It's you never want to leave, really. Okay, so let's move into how to build itineraries. This is where most Fiji itineraries really fail, especially when we try to pair too many islands or the wrong combination of islands, in my opinion. So just some core rules to follow. 1 to 2 islands is ideal. Three maximum, and only if you have someone with a very extended stay, maybe a 15-day stay. But the truth is, no one wants to be packing and unpacking every 2 to 3 days, especially when you have a little bit of complicated transfers. Minimum, at a minimum, 3 nights per island, but I would absolutely recommend more. And I would recommend that you balance the logistics with the experience. Don't over transfer. And how to think about pairing. Start with the client type first. So is this a honeymooner? Is this a family? Is this a repeat client? And then pick your one hero resort where you want to base most of the experience. Like for example, Kokomo or Wakaya for someone that wants once in a lifetime experience, or Royal Davui for someone that wants complete seclusion. And then pair it with the contrast destination, something that is just easy transfer because of the time limit that you have, or somewhere that is more remote, or somewhere that is more social to contrast the remoteness of Royal Davui, for example, at the very beginning, or something that continues to be more private. So prioritize the flow of travel, not just the properties themselves. What to avoid? Too many short stays. 2 nights or less per island, in my opinion, does not work. Or mixing similar experiences and have absolutely no contract. For example, mixing Vomo with Six Senses Fiji. They're located close to each other, so the transfers are relatively easy, but they will get the same experience, in my opinion, or a very similar experience within the Mamanuca Islands. Um, Another thing to avoid is overcomplicating transfers for short trips or sending your first-time client somewhere too remote, especially if what they have in mind is white sand, blue water, and you're sending them to a volcanic island that is more secluded. So make sure that you manage those expectations. So some of my island recommendations for first-time clients, keep it easy. The Mamanuca Island. So Liku Liku, Six Senses, Tokariki, and Vomo. And you can pair any of these easily with Kokomo if you're adding a second island, or pair it with Nanuku, which is on the main island. It will be a great experience and it will be very easy transfers. For short stays, I recommend that you stay close. Either the Mamanucas only or Nanuku plus Royal Davui is a good option as well because they're both located in the south. It makes the transfers a lot easier. But avoid remote islands if you have a short stay. Create contrast, not duplication again. So easy and remote can be the Mamanucas and Kokomo, for example. If you want a nice balance of both social and private, you can do the Mamanucas and Royal Navui. If you want cultural and island experience, you can do Nanuku in Vitilevu and Liku Liku in the Mamanucas, or Six Senses or Vomo in the Mamanucas. If you want immersive and easy, you can do Vanua Levu, Namale, or Jean-Michel Cousteau, and you can pair it with the Mamanuca Islands as well. Following on the island recommendations for remote islands, build around them. So again, if you have Jean-Michel Cousteau or you have Namale, pair with Mamanucas. If you have Kokomo, pair with Nanuku, which is already within the same island. There's another airport close to Nanuku, or closer to Nanuku, in the Suva area that you can fly to Kokomo from. So that makes it a really good pair. Or for Wakaya, it can be a standalone, or you can pair with the Mamanuca Islands as well. For first time versus repeat. First time, Mamanucas or Royal Davui plus Kokomo. For repeat clients, something more like Jean-Michel Cousteau, Namale, Kokomo, or Wakaya combinations will work. A little bit of destination intel that I wanted you to know. Fiji seasonality, the dry season is May through October. This is the best weather period in Fiji. The wet or green season is November through April. Warmer temperatures with higher humidity and more frequent tropical showers. But these are often short and passing, so do not deter your clients from traveling during this period of time thinking that there is going to rain on them the whole time because it will not most likely. And then for your clients to know if they want to avoid crowds, definitely travel within the shoulder or low season, April through June, or the month of November, or December through March. High season is going to be anywhere from July to October. It's also good to keep in mind that their Australian market is very strong. So their seasons vary with the Australian school holidays as well. And then some additional tips I wanted you to have that I think are very important for Fiji in general. Set the right expectations on remoteness. Fiji is definitely more about privacy and less about social life and shopping. Clients looking for more nightlife, clients looking for more activities, more shopping, and that lifestyle might be suited elsewhere. Transfers do matter here in Fiji. A helicopter versus a ferry versus a boat versus a charter flight can dramatically impact the experience for the client. Some of these helicopter transfers are a tour all on its own. So if they have the budget for that, always position the transfer as part of the luxury experience. Also, very important, all-inclusive does not always mean unlimited everything like it does sometimes in Mexico and the Caribbean. Make sure that you check the inclusions. Also, private islands feel very different from the main island resorts. Main island resorts like Nanuku offer more flexibility, offer more access. Jean-Michel Gusteau and Amalia are like that too. And then private islands are more immersive, more secluded. Match this to the client's personality early. Minimum stays are common, especially during the high season. And dining variety is limited, especially on these smaller islands, but feature this as a plus and not as a flaw, in my opinion. A lot of these restaurants will change their menu daily so that client does not feel tired of eating the same thing over and over again. Position it as curated dining or personalized dining instead of just few options. Again, the weather is rarely a deal breaker. Even in the green season, rain is often short and tropical. Fiji is more green during this time, so lush landscapes sell that and better value as well. And lastly, I do want to set the expectations. Island time moves slower. Let your clients know it might not be as fast as a service as the US or maybe places like Mexico. However, Fijian hospitality is some of the warmest that I've experienced anywhere. I mean, their people are nice, they're personal, they really want to connect with you. It really makes a difference. They are really relationship driven, which is something that I can absolutely resonate with. This is also great for families because the nannies and the kids clubs are able to create these amazing relationships with the kids that they visit. And then you have these experiences like my son that cried when they left the resort because they had such an amazing connection with their buddy from there. So it is definitely a slower pace though, so set that expectation. And then I just wanted to show you our Fiji portfolio across all of the islands. And of course, we'll send this presentation to you. And that is what I have for you today. We'd love to know if anybody has any questions at this time. All right, let's see. Bear with me while I get to our chat. Can guests transfer directly from Nanuku to Six Senses? If you do a helicopter, yes, you might be able to, but otherwise, if you do a boat transfer, you will have to get back to Port Denaroo and take a boat transfer from there. What is the best way to get to Nanuku from Nandi Airport? Several ways. So you can take a helicopter or a private flight. from Nandi Airport. That will be the easiest way. Um, but if your client is budget sensitive, then you can also do a land transfer. It does take about 2 hours, but we have done it before. Our team has done it before, and it's a beautiful drive. And thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions in the future, feel free to send me an email, let us know, and let our team handle Fiji the right way for you. Thank you, everyone.